So for those of you that are new to the in practice, we hold the poses for a bit longer, well, maybe 3 to 5, 7 minutes. This is a really great time for introspection, to really feel into your body, feel what's going on in your body. We're taking in a lot of information these days, we're processing a lot. So it's a good time to really honor that and help you process and understand. So I feel like everything in life has a deeper meaning. Everything that we go through, there's a meaning that's hidden, so to speak. And what I've been really reflecting on these days is that how in all of this, we've been challenged. Our routines have been lost. Some of us, we've lost our jobs, or we've had to reshape our jobs, etc. And in this process, we get to figure out like our other gifts, so to speak. They say that all that we need is within ourselves, and we can tap into this through meditation, but we unblock the energy through yoga and through breath. And so in the yin postures, again, you're holding them for a bit longer, but it allows you to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, so that you can like clear out these barriers so that you can access something more sweeter. But sometimes the journey can be a bit tricky, yeah? So it's nice if you have a cup of tea with you, or if you want to have a journal with you as well, so you can process and just keep reflecting on yourself, like what are your gifts? And because before this whole crisis, I feel like we identified our gifts with like our job or our relationship status. Like for me, it's like my gift is I teach yoga, but now I'm learning like my gift is also patience. My gift is also kindness, and then you can start to work with these different qualities, and they can evolve into something greater. Yeah, because we have so much that we can share with the world, but it's very hard to share if we feel very stuck. So we're going to work on unblocking this stuck energy. I hope that sounds good to you. Sweet. So let's find ourselves in a nice, comfortable seat. I'll scoot back a bit. And you can sit on a bolster or a block. It's actually nice to have a few pillows or bolsters with you. And we'll just start to tune into ourselves by tuning into our breath. Yeah. So you can bring your palms down on your thighs and close your eyes. And as you are here, just start to feel the breath streaming in and out. Breathe in, growing spacious. And exhale, feel it softening. And already here, you might start to become a bit more aware as to where there's blocked energy, where things feel closed off. And again, it's no need to judge these areas, these spaces, but you become aware as to where you can direct your energy or how you can work deeper into these mysterious places to reveal these hidden treasures, these gifts, these tools. And we're going to move into Samavriti breathing. This is an equal part breath that works with the inhale, a retention, an exhale, and then a retention. This breathing exercise is done in and out of the nose. So to start, take a clearing breath in and exhale everything out completely. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, energy draws up, 2, 3, 4, hold, connect to stillness, 2, 3, 4, exhale, there's a release, 2, 3, 4, and hold, connect to stillness, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in deeper, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, feel the expansion, the light spreading through your body, 5, 6, and hold. Connect to this expansion, this space that you're opening up. Exhale out, feel a softness, a release, a letting go. And hold, connect to the emptiness, the stillness, vastness of space. Breathe in deeper, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tief ein, atmen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 und halten. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 und aus. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 und halten. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nochmal tief ein. Feel it spreading up through the spine to the crown of the head. Hold. Concentrate. Third eye. Tapping into intuition, imagination. Exhale. Feel the energy descending down the spine, highlighting through all the chakras that contain all of these gifts. Hold at the bottom. Connect to your root. Connect to the earth. This place that stabilizes you and helps you build a nice foundation. Return to a nice, easy breath in and exhale out. And so you can allow the breath to continue to travel up and down through the spine throughout your practice. In the spine is what holds each of these chakras, these energetic centers, and within each center there's these gifts that you have, these treasures that I like to refer to them as. Or if you feel within the practice that there's areas that need to be released or open, direct your awareness to those places so the prana will follow. Okay, that way we can tap into our infinite gifts. And I'm going to meet you on the mat. We're going to start with our legs up the wall. If you have a wall nearby, you can use it, or you can just use your imaginary wall, space. Yeah. So you'll start by lying down on your back. You can also turn this into a restorative shoulder stand by lying down and elevating your hips, sliding a block or a bolster underneath, and then you just extend your legs straight up towards the ceiling. So I use my phone in the practice, not to text. In fact, I prefer to just not text at all. I've had my phone off all day. It's been glorious. But I do use my phone to set a timer. Yeah? So don't think that I'm disconnecting from you. very German these days. And you can just soften the eyelids here so that you're able to drop into the inner sky of your being, feeling into yourself. And in this posture, you reset the nervous system. Everything starts to normalize, harmonize. You'll feel rejuvenated. And if you do this for 15 minutes, perhaps you return to this posture later on. It's equivalent to a 4-hour nap. So if you've been feeling waves of exhaustion or fatigue, this is a really nice one to connect to. If you find it challenging to drop into the pose, 2 things I suggest is 1, visualizing the energy. So here you can visualize the energy pooling through the toe tips, sparkling down through the legs, washing through the hips, traveling up through the spine, expanding across the heart space, out through the neck, up the crown of the head. When you exhale, you feel everything just sink and settle in. You can do this, again, visualize energy, or come to a mantra. Mantras are a good way to control the mind. So hum is one of my favorite ones, which just means I am that I am. Yeah, so hum. And perhaps in weaving this mantra into your breath, you can hear it in your breath, you'll be able to see or connect to all the gifts that you have to offer. Light yourself up with your next breath in. And exhale everything out. And then just start to take little circles here with your toes, reaching up, going back. You can make these circles as big or as little as you like. And the next time the feet start to circle down, lower your feet all the way down onto the mat. We're going to come into a restorative bridge pose. So again, you can use the blocks or the bolsters. Feel free if you're at home, if you want to use couch. Well, couch cushion might be a bit big, but you can stack a few books as well if you don't have blocks. And same thing, you just bring your fingertips towards your heels, elevate your hips, and you can choose how high you want your position to be. And the props are right at the low back, underneath the sacrum. If it's too high up, you're going to feel it in your ribs, and that'll be very uncomfortable. Yeah. Otherwise, you just stay here and adjust it if it feels until you find that sweet spot. Just work on breathing into your heart space here. When you look at the subtle body system that incorporates the chakras as well, your anahata, the fourth chakra, is located right here in the center of your chest. And the color associated with it is green. That's why it's nice to have lots of plants around. It can help stimulate your heart chakra. But you can also visualize this green light at the center of your chest. It's like a little glowing ball. And as you breathe in, it starts to shine and radiate across the chest, through the shoulders, through the arms, out the fingertips. And as you exhale, the fingertips start to glow green. And you start to almost, the exhale like suctions the energy back in through the arms. And then it becomes concentrated at the heart. Again, that's a nice way to visualize the energy in this pose. You can also return to your mantra. You can also just return to just being here and melting, softening into the mat. You've been here for a bit of time. Feel free to stay. Otherwise, you can take a variation. What you'll do is you'll extend your left leg out and hug your right knee into the chest. So you can interlace your hands along the right shin and gently pull the right knee in towards you, but let your left leg be very heavy. Your left leg might want to fly up, but let it gravity pull it down towards the ground. And the more you start to ease the right knee towards the chest, actually the greater the release you'll find in the left thigh. And just breathe really deep into the posture, to the shift, to feel what's there. If you're working the variation, your next exhale, you can release the right knee, extend your right leg out to meet the left, and then hug your left knee into the chest. And interlace hands on top of left shin, the right leg be heavy. Breathe into the right hip flexor. and ask. Feel your face softening, the jaw relaxing, the eyes dropping towards the back of the head. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Release the left leg down beside the right. You can keep both legs straight for a moment. Reach your arms up over your head. And just take 5 cleansing breaths here as you open up through the front side body. Let everything soften out. Walk your feet back so the feet are right underneath the knees. You can allow your arms to come along beside you. And just gently press the feet into the earth to elevate your hips. Slide your props out of the way. And then vertebra by vertebra, lower down onto the mat. Allowing your spine to merge with the earth. Bring your feet wide, allow your knees to knock in towards one another. And you can bring one hand to the low belly and one hand to the heart. And just feel for a moment. Connect these 2 energetic centers, the solar plexus here underneath the hand at the belly, with the anahata, the hand at the heart. Link them together with your breath. So you work on synchronizing this place of power, of discipline, control, confidence, transformation, which is there, the 3rd chakra, the belly. And you merge it with the energy of the heart, this place of passion, union, truth. So when you tap into these gifts, you can use all of them to facilitate you in your journey. From here, though, you can just roll over onto your right side and then press your way up. Come to sit upright, nice and tall. Oh, yeah, just sitting up. We're going to move into pigeon pose to work deeper into our hips. In yin, it's actually called swan. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring your right shin forward and your left leg back behind you. Yeah. So the idea here is that your hips are square, meaning right hip is in line with the left. For some of us, our pigeon or our swan might look a little bit lifted. The right hip is up high. Slide a blanket, a bolster, a pillow, whatever you got. Just slide it underneath there to help balance out the hips. And then you can come onto the fingertips and then roll the shoulders back and breathe into the heart. Something else to keep in mind here is that if it does feel really intense, to make it less intense, you can bring the right heel in towards your left hip. Yeah, this is or it's less of an external rotation. We'll be here for a bit of time, so if you want to start here, you can, and know that over time you can work the right shin further forward so you have greater external rotation out of the front hip. Yep. So breathe in, lift up through your heart. And as you exhale, pull the chest forward, melt down. And you might even choose to take some ripple effects here through the spine just to loosen up. The way I teach my yin classes is that I create a framework, and then it's up to you to work within that frame. Create the picture that you wish to see. Feel free to take a block or again a pillow underneath the arms, underneath the forehead. And just have compassion for all the sensations that might arise here. The hips are a very interesting place. They hold second chakras, the place of creativity. There's also a lot of emotions there. Your sexual energy is there. And quarantine can trigger a lot of those places. So you have to really breathe through it, breathe through the blockages so the energy can flow smoothly, so that you're able to create in this time. You're creating the life that you wish to live for yourself. We've already been here for a bit of time. So in yin, we always work with playing with our edge. So if you want to get deeper into it, now's a nice time to adjust. And just remember that you're automatically getting deeper by expanding your breath. And by expanding the breath, you're able to direct the prana, the vital life force, into the places that need a bit of opening up, a bit of an awakening. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be a physical shift. The physical shift will come naturally if you breathe deeper. But if you're feeling like the sensation has become a bit dull, then of course you can bring the right shin a bit further forward. Yeah. When I studied Dharma Mitra, he works on getting the ankle further up so that when you lie down, the ankle is almost by the neck. This is preparation for getting your leg behind your head. We probably won't go in that direction tonight. I don't know what you're doing later, but this can prep you for that. It also just, again, opens up the hips a bit more, perhaps into a territory that's been a bit neglected because we probably don't hang out here in the depths of the hips so often. So breathe into it, familiarize yourself with it, and see what it has to offer. Take the next few moments here to breathe even deeper. So as you inhale, perhaps you are clinging to this unnecessary weight, this unnecessary emotion that's been stored. And as you exhale, it's like you blow it out. And you breathe into it, you wrap the energy around it, you grasp it, and as you exhale, you spell it out. Once more like that. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Begin to crawl your hands up. Tuck underneath your back toes. And then lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. And just circle out through your right leg and feel into your hips in a whole new way. Ooh, I just snapped and crackled pop. So amazing what space you can create over just a short bit of time. I know it might have seemed like eternity while we were there, but in retrospect, it's not so long. So now you get to set up your swan on the other side. Just go ahead, no hesitation. Bring your left shin forward. You can always work the right toes back and back and back. So the more you start to lengthen through the back leg, you can start to work the left hip back. And this will allow you to get deeper into it. You started. Again, you can breathe into the heart first, lifting up through the chest. As you exhale, pull yourself forward and breathe and find length. And exhale, just melt down. Take a little swan nap. Just soften your eyes and allow yourself to drop deep within yourself. If any emotions, sensations, or memories come to surface, you can always blow it out like we did before, grasping on with the inhale and your exhale, really expelling it out. Or if you wish to journal to help you with the process, take out your journal, write things out. You can write a letter. Writing letters always helped me. But keep in mind, if you write a letter in pigeon pose, it might be very emotional. But that's okay. You're letting it all out. You don't have to send the letter. Again, you're halfway there. So if you want to adjust your position, feel free. Always have the option to work deeper, working the left shin forward a bit more. So what you're really practicing when you go deeper and deeper is going a little bit outside of your comfort zone. And so we learn how to expand our boundaries. We still learn how to have boundaries. But especially with everything happening in life these days, it's been really pushing us outside of our comfort zones to totally unfamiliar territory. So this just helps us in handling those circumstances. Yeah. You're able to witness what happens in the mind, what happens emotionally, and how can you direct your energy in a way that can serve you to move forward. Again, if you want to reflect on that, you can. Just allow yourself to be here and to settle into it. Take a deep breath in where you are. And exhale, blow everything out. If something you know you need to release, breathe in, connect to that. Exhale, blow it out. Once more for good measure, breathe in. And exhale, let it all go. Unattach yourself from the unnecessary weight, the unnecessary drama. Walk your hands up, tuck underneath the back toes, and just sweep your left leg up, circle it out. Three-legged doggy, and just free movement here, just to feel into the space of the hip. And ask. And come forward onto your hands and knees. Let's take a wide-legged forward fold here. So that space you just opened up in the hips, you can extend the legs out wide, like a straddle, yeah. And so for your wide-legged forward fold, it's also nice to have some props or pillows underneath you, or just something that you can rest your head upon, yeah. So again, if you have a box even, you can rest your head on the box or the prop, like so. If you have a few props and you want to set it up, you can make a little tower. And you can use a long pillow or a bolster, and you can set it up so it's at an incline, yeah. And you face it towards you. And you inhale and you find your length, as always. And you exhale, you fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. You can rest your cheek down to one side. Wrap your arms underneath the bolster. Give it a little cuddle here. If you're pregnant, it won't feel so nice to have this top bolster, but you can still use props out in front of you, so it gives you space to rest your head upon, and your belly can just be in that space in between. Make sure that your toes are turning towards the back. It creates this external rotation there in the hips. they might want to turn in, just encourage them out. And close your eyes, soften through your face, through your jaw. And imagine that as you are folding into yourself, you're able to see into your internal world. You're able to use your breath to navigate through the mysterious darkness into the intelligent light. As you fold into yourself, perhaps you can uncover the deeper meaning as to what's happening within the self, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, or even outside of you. Again, if you wish to take the position deeper, you can always slide some props out so you're able to fold a bit lower. You will naturally get there with time. If it's not now, it might be next week or in a month. You're working in this direction. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let everything out. Walk your hands back, chin towards your chest, and start to peel yourself off the floor, off the bolsters, where you found yourself. And from here, you can take your props out to the side. You can have a sip of tea. Lekker. And we're going to make our way into a squat. Yeah, so for a squat, first you have to close your legs back together. And actually first, let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide, like a Schmetterling, a butterfly. Just start to flutter out the knees here, just to loosen up the space there in the hips so that it'll feel a bit more inviting there in the squat. And just breathe deep into your hips. I know you breathe into your lungs, but you can concentrate on the hips, you can concentrate on the root. And then all together, deep breath in. And exhale out. Cool. So, for a squat, you're going to sit up. You're going to have your toes turned out a bit and your heels in. And you can bring your elbows into your inner thighs, like so. This is one of those poses where two things might be happening. One, your heels might be off the mat and you feel like you have on high heels. You want this to be comfortable. You can roll up your mat so that you have a thickness there. You can slide it underneath the heels or take a blanket, take a pillow, just take anything that basically raises the earth so that your heels can soften down. Yeah. You can also bring a bolster underneath the seat or a block, a cushion. Again, you have to be very creative in this time so that you can find comfort. Yeah. So situate your squat, and we'll actually incorporate a little bit of movement here just to settle into it. So just start to rock the hips here from side to side. Loosening up, just kind of feeling into the ground. I kind of think of like a seed that's been planted into the earth and it has to kind of like wiggle its way up. You know, it starts to spread its roots and it starts to grow the stem and it has to emerge, so it has to kind of loosen up the earth. That's what you're doing here. Squatting connects you to the root chakra, which is connected to the element of earth. So it's all related. You can continue to rock back and forth if that's feeling good and interesting. Or what you can do is you can bring your right hand out in front of you at a diagonal and take your left hand and on the inner thigh and just start to press the inner thigh away. And you can drop right ear over towards the right shoulder. So you release out through the left neck. Things to keep in mind here is that the palm is on the inner thigh, it's not on the knee, so that you're actually pressing this fleshy part of the inner thigh away from you. Drop right ear towards right shoulder. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. We'll hold here for a bit. Breathing in. Close your eyes, soften the jaw. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Release the pressure of the left hand to left inner thigh. You can slide your right hand towards your right ear and just prop your head right back on straight. Good. And then you're going to reach now your left arm out in front of the left leg. And you'll take your right hand to the inner thigh. Drop left ear towards left shoulder. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press the right inner thigh away from the hip. Your jaw might grip up here because you're working into a place that could feel a bit tight. Try to relax the jaw so you release the tension. Let there be a sweetness to your breath as it flows in and out. Maybe even a sigh releases. It's a form of release. Breathe in deep. Exhale, let there be a softness to the right elbow. And then slide your left hand up towards the left ear. And then just prop your head back on straight. So we'll be here for about another minute and a half. You can feel free to stay here. You just opened up the inner thighs and the hips a bit more. If you want to use the elbows to encourage the knees back, you can. If you also just feel like melting into yourself, dropping the arms down to blocks the bolsters, giving your head down, feel free. Squatting helps us create that connection to the ground. And again, in these times, I find that we have to rebuild our foundation. This is what you're doing here. You're connecting into your own earth element. And you're creating a base for whatever it is that you need to support you as you direct your energy, as you use your gifts to carry you forward in life. Take a deep breath in. Exhale everything out completely. Now take your hands down, drive your seat up towards the ceiling. You can turn your toes out, your heels in, and then just begin to sway the hips from side to side. You can take figure eights here, just loosen up. Maybe even let your head move along with it. And bring your hips right back up through center. Heel toe the feet in so that they are about slightly wider than your hips. And then you're going to drop down into yourself and grab opposite elbows. And just allow yourself to dangle. That's the name of the pose. Dangling pose. You can also, again, bring props underneath so that you can allow your forearms to rest upon it and just drop down into yourself. Relaxing through the face, through the neck. This pose might evolve over time. You might even drop the arms down to the floor. This is up to you. Just see what is awakened. See how your body wants to shift over time.
Imagine all the nonsense, the chitta-vritti, just draining out of the brain here. So what's left is this clear mind. You're able to see yourself through this crystal clear lens. You're able to see the world around you through this lens. So there's a deeper understanding. And in this deeper understanding, there's a greater sense of knowing of how to direct your energy, is how to create, how to feel more fulfilled. Trust in the process, trust in the pose, that it's all naturally releasing out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out. You come onto the fingertips. You just breathe in, look forward, softness in the knees. And feel free to sway the hips. Exhale, you can just bend your knees out to the side and lower down. So for our next position, we're going to come into Bakasana, frog pose. Frog is basically like goddess, but on the belly. So I'll show you standing up so you have a better visual as to what's happening. Your toes are out, your heels are in, and there's a deep bend in the knees. Yeah, a little goddess squat. And you bring your forearms down. There we go. I'm a frog. You're about to be a frog too. So to set this up, you're going to come onto your hands and knees, and you're going to bring the knees out to the side and turn your toes out, your heels in. You might want to take pillows, bolsters, again, whatever you have here underneath the belly. You're going to start to slide the knees out. Whoa, did you hear my hip? Warning, that might happen. You're going to start to slide the knees out to the side. And you're going to bring your elbows and forearms down. You keep sliding knees out, and you can rest the belly. You might not need a bolster underneath your belly. This is optional. Yeah. But things I want you to keep in mind here. 1, you are not a frog swimming out of the pose, meaning you might want to be here, you see? And this really isn't a frog pose. I'm sorry. It might feel good, and you're at home, so you can do what you want. But to really work into the depths of the pose, you have to work on getting the hips back towards the heels. Yeah. And you'll probably feel it. I don't have to tell you where you'll feel it, but you should be feeling it here in the groin and the inner thighs. Yeah. And then you can just rest. It might be challenging to rest here, but again, use your breath. Ooh, it swam into my bowls. And again, if you're pregnant, you don't need to have the bolster underneath the belly, but you can bring a pillow out in front of you. I'll act like I'm pregnant. You can have the head there, so the belly is lifted. And if you're up here as well, This is fine. Yeah, you just work on easing into it. And I know this can be a very intense posture. Trust and know we're all in this together. Keep breathing with it. Keep feeling into the releases. Keep feeling into the openings. It's not every day you're like this. I mean, actually, one time, some of you know this story, but when I lived in New York, it snowed one day out of the blue, kind of like yesterday here in Berlin. And I got off the subway and I was wearing the wrong shoes. I made a mistake. And as I was climbing up the stairs and getting off at Bedford Ave, I slipped and fell and I landed like this. I was so thankful for my yoga practice. People were really freaking out, probably because they thought I split my body in half. I was very thankful for the people. And I was also very thankful that there was a pizza shop right there because I was mortified. And this pizza shop had the best pesto pizza. It was so good. So you never know when your yoga will save your life. Good news is we're almost out of this pose. Maybe it's good news, bad news. If you love it so much, you can stay longer. Just breathe deeper. The life of a frog. Breathe in deep. Exhale out. Swim through the sensation, breathing in. And out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. So if you haven't figured out an escape out of this pose, I'll show you. You can be like a frog and pull yourself forward. Oh, and extend through the legs. Oh, I imagine this is what it feels like to be a tadpole morphing into a frog. It's not so fun. But you can shake out the hips here and move from side to side. And then bend your knees, slide the knees in together, press into your hands, and just sit back. Super. Thank you for joining me for that one. I know it's interesting. So what we'll do next, I hope you love it. We're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana. Again, props optional as you like. I'll show you with the props. You can set up the bolsters similar to how you had it in your wide-legged forward fold, like so. Again, you can also do this pose without the bolsters. However, if you are pregnant, it's nice to have a bit of support. Even if it's not stacked up, you just have the bolster flat. Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta just means laying back. Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide. If gravity feels like it's pulling your knees down too much, you can support underneath your legs to keep them elevated. And then you just get to recline back here and allow your arms to open up. So you also get to open up through the chest, to the front side of the body. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just imagine your entire being just melting over the props or melting into the earth. And in this melting, all the stress, the tension, anything you're processing that no longer serves you also washes away. And in this continuous cleansing process of clearing out, you're able to connect to these infinite gifts within you. All the treasures, the tools within your toolbox. For all that we need is simply within. It's stored in each of these energetic centers, stored in our wisdom. So in the stillness, allow yourself to align with the divine, synchronizing it all. So you are more than welcome to stay where you are as we're going to work into our final relaxation of Shavasana. So if you want to keep this as a restorative pose, you can. I would suggest actually if you're pregnant to definitely stay elevated. If it's too much for the hips, you can close your knees together like you're closing together a book and just extend your legs out long. This is also an option. Given that we're taking a little bit of a longer Shavasana this evening because we're working with the crystal bowls, feel free to take a blanket on top of you as well so that you can just really soften and feel at peace with yourself in whatever position you're in. So I'll give you this time. Feel free to take any other extra movement that you want to incorporate into your practice if you need to loosen things up, so that you can feel at complete ease for your final relaxation. Finding yourself in your final resting position, and start by taking a deep breath in, exhale out through the teeth, breathing in, exhale. Breathing in once more. Exhale out. And allow yourself to continue to melt, continue to be open to the vibrations that the bowls have to offer.
You can start to deepen your breath and start to feel, start to notice the pathway that the breath takes as you start to feel into all the space that you explored, that you opened up. And in this exploration, you can start to create soft movement. You can wiggle the fingertips, you can wiggle the toes, and you start to feel into yourself. And eventually, you can roll up and find yourself sitting upright, nice and tall. Allowing your eyes to stay draped shut, energy awareness drawing inwards. So while our external world may be shifting and changing and it can feel very foreign, unfamiliar, the meditative seat will always be your home to connect to something familiar within yourself. Not only do you connect with this higher sense of self, but you're also able to uncover the infinite gifts that we all have within us. These gifts are like tools that can facilitate us down our path, to enhance our process, to enhance our vision, and eventually bring our dreams into our own reality. If you ever feel a bit disconnected, find yourself here, connect to your breath, watch the breath, and day by day you can deepen that connection to that spark within you. From here, we'll bring our hands to our heart center as a gesture of gratitude. Having a gratitude practice naturally amplifies your vibration, thus it attracts the positive things into your life. Start by giving thanks to yourself for showing up, carving out the time to go inwards, to release, to explore. Thanking the masters and gurus who came before us, who provided these techniques, these teachings, in order for us to live a more fulfilling life. And sending extra love to all the doctors, the nurses, the factory workers, the people that are still working their jobs in order to support the basic needs of the community. Thanking those who help nourish those back to health. And of course, welcome in any bits of gratitude that resonate with your heart. Send them out. And in honor of coming together, we'll celebrate in sending out our love, our thanks, our gifts, our wishes with the sound of a single Om. Take a deep breath in to clear. Exhale it all out. Inhale to sing from your heart. Vielen Dank für alles. Namaste.